bitch, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Q in the streets. Q in the streets. Said you're watching Q in the
It's Q in the street. I love everybody here. They've been good to me.
Sheena Arnold, and it's Q in the street.
I love that. For Q in the streets, you need to make sure you go to his bio right now and click that link, okay?
What's up, y'all? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Q. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to...
Hey, y'all, what's going on? It's your boy Q, back in the building with another video. Before I start, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another video. And before I start, I want to say a huge shout out to everybody who sent me mad birthday love. You guys made me feel so loved this week. Showered me with love. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my live, whether that was on Instagram, Facebook, or my Instagram party, Celebrity B-Day Bash, or the one that was on YouTube. We got turned up on all across the board. It's literally like 3 or 4 days later, and I am still recovering from my birthday. I had a ton of fun. However, your boy is 27 now, and I am not 21 years old no more, so it definitely took me like 2 or 3 days to bounce back from that good hangover. If you guys want to send me a birthday gift, what you guys can do is go to the description bar down below and click that link and get my 50 Days of Affirmation book. All right, so I want to get all that stuff out the way. What's up, my Chasing Reality family? We are on season 2, episode 13 of Chasing Dallas. Then there's fire. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and jump into it. So it's still morning time here in Cali. I'm just waking up, so if I sound all nausy a little bit, you guys hear me sniffing, I'm literally, up getting all this stuff done. All right, so the show opens up with the DFW LGBT Awards rehearsal. Dior is hosting. I think he also won an award, but we'll get down to that in the bottom when it comes up. But so this whole situation between executive producer Richie G, Styles by Howard, and they have their sit down. It's so good to see Styles by Howard. You guys know I think he's dope for the show. I like Styles by Howard. I love his green screen. I love the yellow background. I love that it popped. It was a lot going on. Speaking of a lot going on, there was a lot going on in this scene between Richie G and Styles by Howard. Now, I don't know what the beef is between these two, and hopefully we can get into that into the reunion. But I want to know what's the real honest tea behind these two. Because let me ask you a question. Do you guys get like the whole NeNe and Porsha what I'm trying to say between Richie G and Styles by Howard? Is kind of like that OG and then the baby of the clique, and it's kind of like Porsha is like quick with it like Styles by Howard, and NeNe is like that Richie G. I just can kind of resemble the two relationships between the both of them. I can see I can see Richie G and Styles by Howard in those two. Like, it's kind of like, to me in that scene, I really felt like, was it y'all or did y'all feel like Styles by Howard really wants like some type of mentorship or some type of brotherhood from Richie G? And to me, it really does seem like Richie G has a problem with Styles by Howard. In his conversation, I could really feel some type of well, you're trying to get on my platform and this and that. It's kind of like, to me, it was kind of like she was sunning him just a little bit. Like, to me, was you guys feeling the same thing? But that's just how I felt about it. At the same time, I also do feel that Styles by Howard, even though you want to be on the platform, I think if you would have just maybe listened in that scene with Richie G just a little bit more, that maybe you could have got across to him a little bit better. And what I mean by that is, if you're trying to get on this platform that he has and everything of such, And that's another thing, Reese. Why don't you want Styles by Howard to be on the platform? I don't understand why he is not a cast member. Can somebody in the comments or somebody from production or somebody let me know? And I'm not being messy. Y'all know I'm just reviewing the show. As a viewer, I want to know why does Styles by Howard not have a peach? I think that he should be a cast. I mean, he's bringing events. He's killing his green screens. He's bringing you drama. He's bringing you chasing Dallas. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. So I'm not sure about that. But another thing I want to address is why is there so much social media drama going on this season? But back to what I was saying before I move on to the whole social media thing. Styles by Howard, I really wish in that moment that you would have listened to Reese, because I do feel like a piece of him was trying to school you in that moment and be like, okay, I'm trying to teach you something this moment, even though it was in like a sunning you type jush. I feel like if you would have listened a little bit more, that maybe you could have said, listen, Reese, I don't know where you and I got off, but all I want to do is do what you've done. Thank you for opening the door. You know how sometimes you got to like kind of play that role to get in and do what you want to do. And then when you get in the door, then you can come in and twirl and do what you need to do. But I feel like if in that moment, you maybe would have just like sat back a little bit and listened and just been like, you know what? You got it. You win. Because sometimes in order to get what you want, sometimes you got to play that role. I'm sorry, that's just life. Well, I know that's a life, especially in this industry. Sometimes you got to be like, all right, cool, I'll let you get down, but I will win in the end. And so sometimes you got to have that mindset, okay, well, cool, I know I got to get through this hole to get in the door, to get on the platform, so I'll do that. However, when I get on there, oh, it's no games, it's no questions. All right, so Reese, that's another question. Why is Styles by Howard not a cast member? Because I do feel like there is some shade in what you have going on between Styles by Howard. Now, Styles by Howard and Reese, you know, that little conversation didn't last long. They go outside, you know, they're having this whole thing with Dior. And Dior lets Reese know, like, Reese, you know, you're supposed to be, you know, the producer. You're supposed to, you carry yourself in this type of light, in this way. I personally feel that you should have not responded in the manner that you did. Yes, my child was wrong and I got on him. However, you can't respond to every single thing. Reese, I think a lot of us can agree that you sometimes maybe, I know me personally, I don't take the show as personal, so I don't personally respond to everything. So sometimes, Reese, I do think that you respond to some stuff too much on social media. Like, I just don't, you can't address everything. Reese, I am glad on the flip side of that you did, however, apologize to Dior and his family, who is the matriarch, for, you know, just saying certain things. But at the end of the day, I have to, I don't have a dog in this fight. It's like I see both sides. I see Reese's side, because I do feel like some stuff on social media is sometimes unnecessary. And as a cast member, we are on this journey together. You know what I'm saying? When I did Chasing Atlanta, that's what I was reminding them. We're on this journey together. So no matter what we got going on, when the fans chime in, it's going to be escalated to a whole nother situation. So if we can at least be on the same page or the same playing field, then we can be good. But by the time everybody else put their comments and stuff in, it's going to be a whole situation. So again, Reese, we are grateful and glad that you did apologize to Dior and his family, because you don't want this to go outside of the show for disrespecting somebody's family. And then it's just not a good look. And then as the boss and the producer, you know, when you're saying stuff about people's families, it's different from like just us just having a beef to whatever. But then on the flip side of that, it's just like, I have to agree with everybody else. It's kind of like, you are the company you keep. So it's kind of like, Dior, if you are this person, then it's kind of like, kids, listen, if we gonna be out doing 1, 2, 3, I need y'all to hold it together the best way we can, at least until we finish filming this season, so I can get, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, for me, guys, I don't have a dog in the fight. However, I do see both sides of the fence. Now, I'm going to tell y'all one thing on one side of the fence that I don't see is when Reese was leaving and everybody had just finished having this back and forth, especially Styles by Howard and Reese, they gave that little fake ass little kiss and hug. Girl, if we about to sit here and I don't give a hell what we got going on, don't kiss me, don't hug me, kiss Dior and go on by that way, girl. Anyway, ooh, that was a lot in that scene. I feel like my mouth is dry. How y'all holding up in the quarantine? My birthday was fun. Litty. Shout out to Chase and Dallas. This is a great episode. I mean, I'm about to go further. I just want to take a break. That was a lot to talk about in that particular episode. Chase and Dallas, y'all got a lot of social media drama that's happening on the show this season. That's kind of weird. I really wish people, I hate that. I can't stand people like doing lives, and I prefer not to get involved in all that kind of stuff, especially during filming season. It's the worst. Anyways, Markel has a Ponderosa at his home. Everybody was there. It was good to see everybody. The only person that y'all didn't invite was my husband, George. I don't understand why y'all be throwing my husband, George, so much shade. Markel, if George is your homeboy, why did you not invite George? And why was Styles, well, maybe because he's B-cast or a friend of the show, why was Styles by Howard there not to defend himself? I would have loved to see him in the room as well. However, let me tell you who I love to see who came in the room. Ariel. The way that you walked into that room was an entire mood. It was everything. Oh my goodness. So, before we get into Ariel and all that, let's back up. So, Reese G and Markel are in the kitchen. Markel is just, I think Markel is just naturally shady. Do y'all think Markel reminds you like of Akeem? Like he just throws shade around to everybody. Like everybody gets shade. At this point, when I watch Markel on the screen, it's just kind of like it's like if he wasn't on the show, it would be like weird, but when he's here, it's just like weird. So it's just like Markel just throws shade to everybody. It's like he has no. And so it makes it funny, and then it's like, it's just Markel at this point. So, but there was just a lot that was happening from these Reese G and Trey Womack rumors that was kind of being thrown around the room. And also, Markel even insinuating that Reese G, Trey Womack has been over to Reese G's house. Ooh, Markel, we like when you messy. We are here for it. We the people. We are here for it. Reese G, I loved your confessional look. Was it me or did Trey, what's his name? Womack, did Trey Womack, did he walk into Markel's house and not even speak?
So, Markel invited us to his house.
Ooh, I love y'all together in this green screen. When Trey Womack walked into his house and didn't even speak, that was so funny to me. So you got pretty much everybody's on the cast. Everybody is pretty much sitting around gossiping. You got them talking about, some things going around with George. And it was just a few people who weren't there. They were talking about Dior had a chance to have a conversation and tell his side about his son. And, everybody was just kind of sitting around talking, doing their thing. So Ariel walks in, already talked about her being a whole mood. So everybody sitting around talking, and then Womack drops a bomb. Boom. George woke Womack up in it. We was like, wait. Trey Womack dropped a bomb that George somehow ended up in his room. Pastor, you make your way around. Pastor Greenleaf stayed busy, and he said he pulled his D out. Like, what was going on, y'all? That scene was so funny to me. Now, I'm pretty sure that the scene is not like what the real story is not as crazy. However, y'all know who was funny to me in this whole entire scene? Carrie D and Ariel was wearing me the hell out because, baby, they were, what, girl? Whoa.
Put it in your mouth. Whoa! He said he put his dick out? So everybody...
Like, it's like what they were doing was, I would have been dying. It was kind of like they were just adding to the feud that was going on in the room. However, when we get to the reunion, I would love to hear from Trey Womack just to kind of just go more into details between him and George about this story. Now, again, it does sound funny. It does sound like it was a drunk night, some brother stuff. However, it was just the way that it was happening and portrayed is funny to me because it was just like, put it in your mouth, or put the thing in your mouth and something like that. It was just the way that Trey Womack was delivering the story that just made it so funny. And then the reactions of Carrie D and Ariel, and then you had King Kang in the corner like, ooh, chat, like, it just, the whole setup was funny to me. All right, so we're gonna move on past that. This, like I said, this whole little situation between, so another situation. So y'all, I talked about earlier how I felt, of course, you know, Reese, because she's been here longest, how I feel like NeNe is Reese G. So don't you guys kind of see like a little situation between NeNe and Kenya? And I have always called Kenya Dior because came in, maybe because Kenya came in third season, the whole kind of, you know, Jush, and Dior is quiet, but he'll get you like when need be, and I feel like he'll get with your ass, and I feel like Kenya is never backs down from a fight. She always says how she feels. Dior is the same way, never backs down, and I don't know, this little banter between Reese G and Dior, it's cute. I would love to see more of it on the reunion. I am excited to see how that storyline is going to play out, because the situation with the family, and I just feel like some of the comments, I'm very curious to see how those two are going to make amends, or where the cards are going to fall where they may, between Dior and between Reese G. On the flip side, Markel tried to spill more tea about Trey Womack, talking about him and Reese G broke up. And so you know King Kang, he caught it. He was just like, what? Not his good girlfriend, not Markel. Like, Markel at this point, again, we just expect him for the mess, so it's okay. So he was talking about they broke up between him and Trey Womack. Is it me, or I love to see King Kang and I love to see Trey Womack in a scene together. So both of them in the same green screen confessional was like a double treat, because it was kind of like Trey Womack that was sitting up there with all his breasts out. I was like, come on, yes, we here for that. Reese, sometimes you have to respond when I think you should ignore. I don't think that, Reese, I don't think you should respond to like everything every time somebody says something, what it was talking about the social media situation. So Dior was basically letting you know that he doesn't agree with you having to respond or go live. And, you know, even earlier in the episode, Styles by Howard said you're the king of going live and, you know, on Facebook and stuff like that. And Reese, we do know you to do that. So, I mean, just take it for what it is with that one. But I had to agree with Dior. I have to sometimes agree. Not sometimes agree. I had to agree with Dior in that moment. If you're going to take on the role of the producer, and sometimes you cannot retaliate and react to everything. Sometimes you can't address every single comment. You can't address every person, because everybody is not on the same level of thinking and not as mature as the other ones. All right, so let's go ahead and zoom through this last scene real quick. So the last video I talked about Imani Van Zap, so I'm not going to ride her scene too much. I love her commentary. I feel like she did a great job as usual. Are you guys here for Imani Van Zap hosting a reunion? I talked about that in the last episode, or the last review that I did on Chasing Dallas, about Imani Van Zap being the perfect host for the reunion. Speaking of the reunion, woo! This whole quarantine stuff, I don't know what y'all gonna be able to do. Like, I don't know if y'all gonna be able to like rent out an Airbnb, or if you guys are going to have to, I don't know what y'all gonna have to do. But I don't really want y'all to have to do the whole Zoom kind of situation. But anyways, I don't know what y'all gonna have to do with the reunion, but we are eager to see it. I know I am. All right, so we get down to the last scene of the evening, which you have George, Markel, Ariel, Carrie D shows up, and then Reese G shows up. So they all sitting around talking, whatever. They all go to a little pizza joint, and Markel basically drops a bomb on George and Ariel. They're having a first time exchange for the first time. Baby, Markel, this is why it's just so funny to me, because it's kind of like, what kind of real friend would not tell his homeboy, like, hey, tonight at filming or whatever, even if we had to film it, I would have been like, hey, friend, this is what happened tonight. So for Markel to hold that information, and Ariel called it out. She said, now, for him to be just not finding out, and we did that a couple of days ago, y'all wrong for that. I have to agree with beautiful Ariel. Y'all was wrong for not telling George that he, people are out here saying these type of allegations about him, because on the flip side of that, that could have been a very serious matter, especially the way that it was worded, because the way that it was like, it could have been worded like, well, listen, he came in while I was sleeping, laid up, and then he just said, put it like, y'all know how stuff like that can go, so it sounds weird. But anyways, Carrie D shows up. So yeah, my question would be to Markel, why didn't you let him know that off camera? And George, I'm just glad George didn't say no. I'm glad George wasn't in the scene like, oh, I didn't do that, I didn't say that. He was like, listen, I'm a 31-year-old grown behind man. That's what I'm talking about, George. However, we want you to keep that dangling in them pants. But at the same time, George, I can say that I'm glad you didn't go in there backpedaling and pussy popping. So Carrie D shows up, thank God, because he kind of breaks the ice. But between the whole little situation of them finding out and George, you know, get ready to explain himself. But they was just letting him know, like, listen, we heard about it and it is what it is. So George admits to it. And then Reese G shows up. Now, how Reese G show up to out of a gazillion places in Dallas, and he showed up to the one place where Chasing Dallas is filming that night. And production ain't told him nothing. Anyways, that was cute, but it was cute. They showed up, whatever, Reese G shows up, and him and George start having a banter. Good episode, guys. I feel like we got a lot of levels in this episode. Good episode. So George and Reese G start going at it, and it's just like, dang, they having a back and forth exchange across from the table, and it's just like, I don't know what the shade is between Reese G and George. Aren't y'all birthdays around the same time? Because around the same time, I think earlier in the scene where everybody was sitting down, you hear Reese G kind of shading George about his party, and then you know Reese had a party maybe a couple of days later or maybe a week or two later or something. So is there some type of real shade between George and Reese G? Anyways, guys, that's all we. Oh, and shout out to Dior for winning an award at the great, beautiful event that was at the end of the night. I don't want to go too deep in the DFW LGBT award show, but it looked like it was a beautiful event. Shout out to all the influencers and LGBT people that were in the building, to the people who put on the event. Shout out to all the cast, Chasing Dallas. Make sure you guys are following them on all their social media sites. Make sure that you are subscribe to Chasing Reality on YouTube. Dope show. Follow all the cast members, super fun people. And again, guys, this is not nothing personal. I just reviewed the show. Just review the show. It's nothing personal. So if I say something, it's out of love, laugh, or if I throw a little bit of shade, it's all fun and games, because we all can still laugh and kiki at the end of the day. All right, guys, I will see you guys in the next episode. Shout out to Chasing Dallas for winning an award on this particular episode, and the way that you guys are moving, you guys definitely deserve it. So shout out to Chasing Dallas and all the cast members from season 1 and season 2. Shout out to the Chasing Reality brand. It's your boy Q. I see y'all in the next video, and get ready for that Chasing Dallas reunion. I think after that's gonna have to be time for Chasing Atlanta. Let's see what they bring in this season. I see y'all later. Peace.
Whoa! He said he put his dick out? So